Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Film Optix, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network, where we discuss film, TV, and everything pop culture related. I'm your host, Christian, and I'm joined by my good friend and my co-host, Devin. And today we are reviewing the latest Warner Brothers film. Yeah, got Mortal Kombat in the house.
I was expecting some techno music after that.
I wanted to, but I'm not sure, A, how that's going to go across on YouTube and or affect the audio version for the podcast. So I was trying to keep it more simple. But yes, we are reviewing the latest Warner Brothers film, Mortal Kombat. And before we get into our review today, just a little bit of housekeeping here. Actually, let's back up. I'm sorry, Devin. How's your weekend been?
It was a good weekend. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm in a different realm right now. I'm in parent realm. I guess you could say.
Yeah, parent realm. There you go. There you go. It's, hey man, like it is what it is. You're home for celebratory reasons, so nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I myself, I had a pretty good weekend. It was just, I got my second COVID shot today. So, I am so sorry. That was the wrong one.
You did finish the shots. So
I did. I was going to do the nice little applause there, So it'll just take about 2 weeks to get into the rest, but it's Monday. So happy Monday, everyone. I've been kind of resting up myself. I felt very, very tired yesterday. Didn't have any other crazy side effects on my side, which is always a good thing. We never want that to happen with anyone, but I've heard a few other people out there have had some crazy, just, I don't know, crazy reactions, to one of my friends had like night sweats. The other one really couldn't sleep. He also had night sweats. I was just a tired old boy.
Yeah, I didn't really have any issues with the second shot.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you did, but that's good that you didn't, because for some people, they have like no side effects whatsoever. I mean, I feel like being tired is honestly way less on the lower scale, but I did fall asleep halfway through the Oscars because of it. Because I got it at like 8 o'clock that day.
For that.
What's up?
There might be a few reasons for that.
Oh man. So everyone was so up in arms about it. Did you want to talk a little bit about that before we get into the review? I know we haven't really done a lot of Oscar coverage here.
Making some Oscar reactions here.
Yeah. So it's so I know oh my God.
It was fine for like the first couple of hours, I guess. And then the last part kind of went off the rails. Everything just kind of fell apart.
So what do you mean by went off the rails? Because I know Anthony Hopkins won a Best Actor for The Father, which was a phenomenal movie. I honestly, I feel like he definitely deserved it for sure. I know obviously the whole thing with Chadwick Boseman. What was with that? Because I keep seeing on people on Twitter saying it's not that Chadwick didn't. It's not the fact that he didn't win. It was something else. I guess they were.
Well, they made the decision mid-broadcast to switch up the order of the awards, because usually Best Picture is last, obviously.
Right.
Like you'd expect that one to be last because it's the biggest award. But they did that the third to last award, they did Best Picture. And then they did Best Actress and then Best Actor. So then people started speculating, well, maybe they're just doing that because Chadwick's going to win Best Actor. They want to give him the spotlight and a moment for his career to celebrate that, which would make sense. Would have made a lot of sense, but they ended up not doing that and confusing a lot of people.
I think that's
not only did you take the spotlight away from Nomadland and Chloe Zhao, because their award was like not the biggest award of the night, but you also took the spotlight away from Anthony Hopkins because he wasn't even there.
Right. He was in Wales, yeah.
Not as people that are angry at him, which they shouldn't be, but
no, because
and then
I saw his thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then obviously you take any spotlight away that Chadwick could have had. It just seemed like the right thing to do to give him the award.
Was there? Sorry, go ahead.
It's even if I haven't seen The Father yet, but I have heard amazing things.
It is very good. I will say.
I imagine it was a deserving award, but I'm pretty sure he would have understood if Chadwick would have gotten this one.
Yeah, and that's one thing I know people were kind of annoyed about. So was there a like a Chadwick like tribute? I'm imagining that there should.
That's another thing they really messed up was the in memoriam section, because they were doing it to like the beat of the song, so it would speed up whenever the beat sped up in the song. It was really weird and kind of disrespectful.
Oh, what?
They were just like speed running through most of the names.
Well, I think that deserves a.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. That doesn't sound very, very. What I don't know. That's weird. Like, so I know Anthony Hopkins wasn't there for his acceptance speech. I mean, the man's in his 80s. Why would he be? He was at home in Wales. I did see his like quote unquote acceptance speech. We paid tribute to Chadwick Boseman. So there's always that. Which is nice. I don't know why people are mad at Anthony Hopkins for it. From what I watched, like it seemed to have gone fine. Daniel Kaluuya had a bit of a weird sentence there too. And his
speech got interesting at the end.
Yeah, it got very, very interesting. And then his mom was like, what? And yeah, we won't go into it, but it was, if you want to look it up, it's definitely out there.
He was definitely deserving though.
Oh, absolutely.
He only got supporting nod for some reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the only thing I didn't understand with Judas and Black Messiah. Who was the supporting and who was actually the lead? I would actually say that, you could have both great arguments for Lakeith Stanfield and for Daniel Kaluuya. So it's like, where do they even stand? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then obviously the biggest winner of the night is Nomadland and Chloe Zhao.
I'm glad she won for directing, but this is just my take, my business, but like every other Best Picture film on there, I think should have won. Like I would have been okay with any other besides Nomadland.
I really like Nomadland. I haven't seen The Father or Minari.
Minari was very, very good. I think, each film definitely had something to say, but like, we can't really, I don't know. I
would have went with Judas.
I would have went with Judas, or I would have went with The Father, honestly. I don't know about Trials of Chicago 7. I thought that was going to win because that's usually like a crowd pleaser, but it is what it is. But hey, there's always
no more at wins either.
Oh no, Maria Bach. I thought she was going to win that. Who won supporting actress?
It was the mother from Minari, I believe.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Older actress.
Yeah, I think she played Nai, and or no, she wasn't. Was she Nai? I don't think so. Well, Nai was a little bit more heftier from The Farewell.
She had a great speech though when she won. She was just like, I finally get to meet Brad Pitt.
That's funny. That's great stuff, man. That's really great stuff. But yeah, let's get into our excuse me. I am spoiling myself here.
Also, Oscars were down like 58% or something from last year. Like they are.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, you showed. It was seen near. No, sorry, that's from Mortal Kombat. The Oscar ceremony hit a record low, plummeting to 58% compared to last year. I understand that kind of like goes into a lot of people don't have cable, but do you really need?
If you can't succeed during a pandemic, you're gonna have to reevaluate some things because everyone's sitting at home. Everyone has nothing to do.
That is very true. It doesn't seem like they are trying to adapt to the situation at hand. To give them credit, yes, they did decide to push the Oscars back, and what have you, but it's just, yeah, everyone should be home. So it's like, there's no reason why, the record, but like why this should be a record low year. Everyone should have.
They also need to make it free to watch.
That
need to have a place.
Seriously, yeah, you don't like honestly, and I agree. Sorry, I did not mean to cut you off, but I was talking to Ricky and Jacob about this earlier. I was like, I don't think they need to attach this to like ABC Live subscription or what have you. It needs to be free for everyone. because that is how you're going to get people in. Because
That's how they get our generation in, because no one has cable.
Exactly. I cut the cord years ago. I've never looked back. It's like, I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. It is very, very crazy. That is a very good point that you brought up, because I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it's just, something's got to be done, man. It's all about adaptability, and it doesn't really seem like they're willing to change that much. I mean, they did, granted for the nominations this year, but again, we have 10 slots in Best Picture and we only got 8 again, which makes no sense. I think the only time they used all 10 was the year that they changed it. I can't remember what year that was, but it's not really much of an excuse. It's like, I mean, if you expanded to 10, you should use all 10. Someone on Twitter says literally only plummeted only because of the pandemic. Ratings for everything have been plummeting since March 2020. That is a lie. Talk to Disney Plus and see what their subscriber numbers are. I'm sorry, but that's crazy stuff.
Streaming is definitely up.
Yeah. Definitely. But anyway, let's get into our Mortal Kombat review here. Before we get into the review, really quick, you can listen to this podcast on platforms around the internet, and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Film Optix for all of our latest announcements. You can also, again, watch us here. We're on YouTube now. We're trying this thing out, trying to expand our market to as many corners of the internet as we possibly can to, spread the good nerd word. So, yeah, Devin, let's get straight into it. We'll give our initial reactions, and then I'll give the old spoilers thing there right before we get into like the movie breakdown. But this, let me read the story synopsis, the synopsis itself, really quick, and we'll kind of just jump on into it. So the synopsis reads: MMA fighter Cole Young seeks out Earth's greatest champions in order to stand against the enemies of Outworld in a high-stakes battle for the universe. This did release on April 23rd, this past Friday. The runtime is around 150 minutes, and you can watch this on HBO Max for the first 30 days. And it is also playing in theaters as well.
It's doing some big numbers right now.
It really is.
Surprisingly, even more than Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, I think it was nearly 3.8 million U.S. households have watched Mortal Kombat during its opening weekend, according to Samba TV. Mortal Kombat had more viewership in just 3 days, Friday through Sunday, than Godzilla vs. Kong got in its first 5 days. So that's, wow.
It's definitely surprising. I would not expect Mortal Kombat to do better than Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, we're gamers here, and it's like, everyone, like, for whatever reason, when it comes to video game movies, everybody just tunes in. Because it's like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Track record in the past, give or take a few, have been a bit iffy. Just straight garbage, but, it is what it is. I guess
like the original Mortal Kombat movies.
Yeah. Have you watched the other Mortal Kombat movies?
I've watched bits and pieces of them, and Annihilation is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Have you seen? Did you watch Annihilation?
No, I wanted to go back and watch the others first, but I didn't want to get like fatigued when it came to this. So I think what I'll do now, if I can find them, I'll go back and watch them now.
I know Annihilation's on HBO Max, but the first one isn't.
Well, that's all you had to say. I'll probably watch it today then, to be honest.
It's really bad.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm not expecting anything of it. But yeah, I like watching, it is fun to watch the build up. I mean, for Zack Snyder's Justice League, I did rewatch Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, but those were films I've already seen before. But it's like, I don't know. I didn't want the full fatigue effects on my side. You know what I mean? I wanted to go into it blind. Now I got to watch the new one. But it's like, I don't know, I'm kind of tired of watching, Mortal Kombat movies. But No, it's good stuff.
It was cool going in blind. Like I have like some knowledge on Mortal Kombat, but it was nice to have some surprises in there.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, our best friend Seth is like a huge Mortal Kombat fan.
And I was going to bring up that this movie got the Seth seal of approval.
So did it? That's okay.
Big milestone for this one.
Yeah. For all you listeners out there, everyone, watching and listening on the pod, Seth has been our best friend for God knows how long. Literally, I think the only one out of like our original friend group who just breathe, like he used to live and breathe Halo, but he like lives and breathes Mortal Kombat. Like this man. And I meant to have him on, and I had my second COVID shot, and things just kind of got away from me this weekend, but I'm really glad I got the Seth seal of approval. I wanted to kind of compare numbers really quick, compared to reportedly by some, the 2.2 million that watched Zack Snyder's Justice League. It definitely seems that they are moving on from that. If people have not heard the word about that already, but I mean, it is what it is. Someone on Twitter said manifesting the Mortal Kombat cinematic realm. I like that.
Oh,
I like that. The MKCR. The MKCR. I like that.
That's interesting.
It is very interesting.
They're definitely set up.
Yeah.
I think I saw somewhere that Sub-Zero signed on for 4 movies. That's exciting.
Yeah, I actually did want to talk about that, but let's get into our initial reactions. Of course, this is directed by Simon McQuoid and stars. Oh my gosh, I forgot to change the stars over. I was like, Eric Andre is not in this movie. But was there anyone in this film that you recognize from somewhere else?
There aren't really any major recognizable actors. Louis Tan is the new character that they introduced, Cole Young.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like new, as in like he's not even in the game franchise new.
Yeah.
Like he was made for this film.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought that was an interesting touch, and I wanted to get your thoughts about that as well, because I kind of like it. It's not just it's showing that they are trying to, make their own version of Mortal Kombat. Even though I feel like, just giving my initial reaction here really quick, I feel like it was a bit misleading because, we're expecting this big tournament. This is more of like the prequel leading up to the tournament. I'm not sure if you agree or disagree with that, but that was my little spiel about it.
That's my biggest gripe, is that there actually wasn't an actual tournament.
Yeah. But
I do agree that having the main character be someone new was the right decision, because it gives us perspective as someone coming into Mortal Kombat blind. It just kind of gives you someone to attach to. And they're learning as we're learning about it.
Yeah. And we've played Mortal Kombat before. Seth has beaten our ass multiple times to the point where it's actually just not even fun anymore.
Yeah.
At least for us. But, I don't know about the entire storyline of each Mortal Kombat, but I am familiar with the characters, Kung Lao, Liu Kang, you have Sub-Zero, you have Scorpion, you have Raiden, you have Goro. Huh?
Kano.
Yeah, Kano, you had, Sonya Blade, I am familiar. If someone's like, I know who that is, I'm just not a big Mortal Kombat fighting fan, but I love watching other people play, 100%. And I think this movie, it set out what it wanted to do. It is definitely, putting in little bits of breadcrumbs here or there, but I had a good time with it.
That's the first thing I texted you when I was done. I was like, that was fun as hell.
Yeah.
It might not have been the best written or the best story or the best acted or the best visuals. But
okay, the visuals weren't bad. I like the visuals.
Goro was rough.
Okay, besides Goro.
Goro was like Scorpion King, esque.
Oh my God.
Almost that bad.
When was the last time I saw Scorpion King? Wow. That is a good comparison.
That's what it reminded me of.
Okay.
But other than that, like everything was just really fun. Like the characters were all great. Kano stole the show.
Yeah.
Sub-Zero was amazing. Like that is how you do Sub-Zero. He's basically like a slasher like killer in this movie. Like he shows up, people die, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean,
just like a badass.
Yeah, no, Sub-Zero is definitely. I'm just gonna play as whatever. It's just
Sub-Zero wins.
Like honestly,
he does.
He does. Sub-Zero does win, and then you have he's just owning everyone. Like, and I'm not okay. So
I love the scenes. The first 10 minutes were like legitimately great.
Yeah,
like, when Sub-Zero hunts down Scorpion, like that was a great scene.
Yeah, literally was like round one.
Fight!
Like you can kind of see, like, you had round one, round two between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. And then, later down the line, it does make a connection. Like we don't have a lot of connection with Cole, even though he is a new person in this entire universe, like you said, for newcomers to attach themselves to. But like, besides him saying like, well, before we get into that, are you done with like initial reactions, or you just want to go into spoilers? We usually kind of blend it in, but I'm trying to like chop it up for people who are listening and whatnot. So, any more non-spoilers you wanted to dish out before we head into spoilers?
Let's dive in.
All right. There's your warning, everyone. We're not going into spoilers here. So, sorry for Mortal Kombat. But yeah, as I was saying, besides for Cole, us knowing that he has to protect his family, like he's not the world's best boxer, but he's not the world's worst either. He's doing these fights for $200 a night, something to put food on the table for him and his family. Even though his wife doesn't like to come and watch him fight, which is kind of understandable. You definitely see that his daughter is always in his corner, which is really, relatable and whatnot. But other than that, like we definitely got more of backstory with Scorpion Sub-Zero. And it's like, there was just so many fatalities and just, I felt like some of the phrases were shoehorned in. But like,
yeah, that's guaranteed though for a Mortal Kombat movie. It's just like that in the other ones.
But like, it would have been really cool if they actually had the announcer guys be like,
flawless victory,
or like
fatality.
You know what I mean? Like it was, or even
finish him.
Like I think it would have been a little bit better if we just had like an overseer. Like, yeah, like it is so
you want a narrator?
Well, only when it came to the fighting, but like that's because obviously that is one thing. Like if anything, anyone knows about Mortal Kombat, it is.
I feel like if they actually had the tournament, then that could make sense to have somebody commentating it.
That is true. That is very true. But it's and then it's so. I don't know. I really did enjoy the action. It was just I wish we would got a little bit more with Cole. But what did you think about like the other characters? Just how everyone?
I definitely liked Cole, and I'm looking into his filmography now. He was in Deadpool 2 as Shatterstar.
Who? Cole?
I didn't even realize. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
He's definitely been in a lot of martial arts type movies.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in Iron Fist. Interesting.
Oh, see, that was one thing I did not watch. The only time I watched Iron Fist on screen was during The Defenders, because in order to follow Daredevil's story, you have to watch Daredevil 1, 2, then watch Defenders, and then Daredevil 3, because everything kind of ties back into him. But yeah.
But as far as other characters, like I mentioned before, Kano kind of stole the show as the comedic relief. At first, I was a little worried he was too over the top, but he kind of just kept getting funnier as the movie went on. To me, his jokes were definitely landing. I love when he got his power, his laser beam. Like, it's better than your fireballs.
He was so obsessed with those fireballs. I swear to God, dude, it was insane. Like,
Yeah.
And I really like how they use the symbol of, you know, the dragon, the circled dragon, as a way to kind of push the narrative. Like, oh, you know, like there are random people who are chosen for this fight. And, you know, if you kill someone, you know, that seal transfers onto you and you become a champion. And we see that with Sonya during the beginning of the movie. She doesn't really have it, but she's more in the know than like everyone else besides her and Drax. Jax. Sorry. Jax. Yeah. Wow. Jax.
Yeah, I thought those two were okay. Kind of forgettable overall as characters.
Yeah. I wish we would have more backstory for them as well. And obviously, you know, we saw like amazing fights during this entire movie.
A lot of gore, well, maybe not a lot of blood, but a lot of gore. There definitely could have been more fights. That is a very valid complaint. There wasn't an actual tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It was an interesting decision. I have seen it's very polarizing. A lot of people are just really down on this movie right now, saying that's like unwatchable and bad. And I just thought it was fun. It's just like Godzilla versus Kong. You have to put aside the story and just watch it for the fights. Like,
yeah,
you're not watching this for a cohesive story.
No, and I think that's where a lot of critics kind of fall short sometimes, because I have seen a few people online saying like how terrible it was, and it's like, okay, like unwatchable. I feel like that's just a little over the top. Like if you did not like it, you know, that is within your right. You know, that is your opinion. You're entitled to that. But to sit here and say that was actually unwatchable, like I watched it twice and I loved it. I watched it once in theaters and I watched it once on,
it was so good in theaters. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was great. Like, I mean, and like my theater was as packed as it could be, you know, due to COVID. But how was it on your end?
There were some pretty decent numbers.
Yeah. So it's like,
obviously there's like the restriction, but it was
obviously
full for what
it could be. Right. But yeah, I never really, I don't, when people say, oh, like it's unwatchable, it's like, if you're not a video game fan, if you're not a fan of Mortal Kombat at all, that's fine. But like the people who are going to go see this are the people who are, they are video game fans. That is just who they are. And, you know, they just want to see their characters represented, in a just fair way, which is totally fine. I think they were fine with that. I really like Kung Lao and Liu Kang. They are probably two of my favorite Mortal Kombat characters. There was a PS2 game with Kung Lao.
I loved all the hat jokes Kano kept making.
Yeah. It was just, I really like how even with Jax, like how he unlocks his like true potential, because obviously, you know, he has the metal arms after Sub-Zero just like rips them, like, you know, tastes him to shreds and whatnot. But it was just, my God,
Sub-Zero is so good. Every scene he just shows up and everything, like ice starts forming, snow starts coming down. You just know something's about to go down.
Okay. Yeah. And that's what I really liked, especially towards the beginning with Scorpion's family, when his wife's like, oh, you know, like, why is it so cold? And I was like, oh.
You just see him walking down the street. You're like, oh, yes.
Yes. So I think the video game I was actually thinking of that I used to play religiously, I believe it was Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks for the PlayStation 2. It was more like an action adventure type game.
Interesting.
And it was amazing. I played the crap out of that. I believe it was Shaolin Monks. Yeah, because it was like a single player type Mortal Kombat game. I was like, wow, like I really wish they would make more of these, but I don't think they ever did. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, dude, I think that's the reason why I like Kung Lao and my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name right now. Liu Kang so much.
and Raiden as the
media,
the stubborn old guy.
What did you think of Raiden in here? Like, did Seth like kind of give you any insights, or was he just like, boom?
I didn't really ask about Raiden, but I know in the first two movies he was kind of a random white guy. So it feels like they might have gotten it right this time.
Okay, yeah.
Like in the movie, he's just like a white guy with long white hair, and it was weird.
Yeah. I mean, like we kind of saw his powers, and I wanted to ask you, what did you think?
He's kind of just like a teleportation machine. That's pretty much what his role was.
Oh yeah. He was like instant transmission type deal. There's actually a Game Informer article out there that dropped like on the 19th of this month saying, "Where's my Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monk sequel?" And I would love to know where that is because it was so freaking good. But so we learned that Cole is the descendant of Scorpion, and I think from when I thought about it when I watched it the second time, like it kind of did make sense. Because you have the daughter that he had, the baby towards the beginning where they hit her underneath the floorboard. I just wish that, well, I mean, you know, I've already said it. Like, I just wish we had a little bit more backstory with Cole. But like you said, it's not about the story. I'm hoping that they do sign on for more because you did say that the actor for Sub-Zero signed on for a few more movies after. I think there is going to be enough.
Yeah, they definitely set it up in the end. They're going to go get Johnny Cage.
Yeah. I like how Johnny Cage wasn't in this. I do like how in this movie, you know, we weren't introduced to everyone, and that is totally fine.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
There's like, 80 characters?
It's insane, dude. But it doesn't feel, you know, it doesn't feel compact. It doesn't feel crowded or whatnot. Like, yeah, it would be great, but this is something that you have to kind of build up to as a like prequel or like a prologue to everything. I think this kind of does work. You know, obviously there's always a few kinks here and there that you can always.
It definitely ended abruptly.
Yeah.
Especially since there wasn't a tournament and then it kind of just ends.
Yeah, because at first, you know, you had Sonya, you had Kano and Cole, you know, trying to unlock their power. And it was just, it was kind of like, you know, the monologue where, you know, they talk over like voiceover almost, but, you know, like, oh, like, you know, we just have to defeat them. And it seems like they beat them pretty easily, but like the fatalities and everything were great.
Yeah. The Kung Lao hat. Saw Blade one.
Dude, I love literally he cut him in half.
He surfed her.
He did. As soon as he was done, it was like
flawless victory.
I was like, yes. Well, like I said, you know, a few of the things are a little shoehorned in, like the sayings, but that's just Mortal Kombat for you. You know, it's just it was good for what it was, and I would definitely like to see another. But was there anything else you wanted to touch on before we kind of just dive into scores? Because we kind of touched on Easter eggs with Johnny Cage. Because
I was a little confused as to what Cole's power was. I was talking to Seth about it, and he brought up a really good point that because Mortal Kombat is very self-referential, they don't mind making fun of themselves. They did in the middle of the movie where he was like, "That's not how you spell combat." Like they know how silly all this stuff is. So he thinks that they made his ability literally plot armor. which makes a lot of sense because that's pretty much what he had.
Yeah, he was not the world's best boxer, like at all.
So they gave him some plot armor to get through it.
That's actually hilarious. So during the fight between Scorpion, or the rematch between Scorpion and Sub-Zero at the end, for like a hot second, I thought that Cole was going to turn into Scorpion because Scorpion is in hell. But that's not the case. He kind of just came out of nowhere.
He kind of summons them when he touches the kunai. Kind of awakens them, I guess.
What did you? Well,
then he the classic "Get over here."
Yeah. Oh, that's the one I forgot to download. That's okay. We got this.
Scorpion wins.
Yeah, He did. He cleaned the floor with him, and like the only real thing he said, well, in Japanese, was, you know, take care of my bloodline. I'm like, does Cole even know how to speak Japanese? Does he know? I don't know. So it's like, you know, it was what it was. But I did one more little gripe about it, but it's like, I just felt like it was rushed. an hour 50 minutes. Like I got like an hour into it. The first time I did check my phone for something because I was expecting a message from someone, but I was like, oh my God, like it's like it feels like an hour in. And then like when I watched it again, like obviously watching a movie the second time around doesn't feel as long, but I was like, it just felt so quick, you know what I mean? But I feel like maybe do you think this movie would have done better narratively if they would have given it like an extra like 30 minutes? Or do you think like an hour and 50 was enough?
Yeah, they definitely could have gone for more time, but it's impossible to get all that lore in there.
Yeah.
In a lot of time. So
yeah,
they kind of just went with the shorter end to be safe, it feels like.
I
don't want to overwhelm people.
Yeah, because there is a lot when it comes to Mortal Kombat, especially like the newer games. There's a lot of time travel and whatnot. But
I do think it was weird that they didn't have a tournament.
Yeah, but I guess it is what it is. You know, I will definitely sit here and ask for another one because I think because they beat everyone before the tournament even started. So it's like, but now Cole's going
towards the end, I was expecting him to just like throw out like 5 new fighters.
Yeah,
like that's what I was hoping for, but then it kind of just ended.
Yeah, but I don't know. It is what it is. So let's get into our scores here so we can wrap up. So Devin, what would you give? Actually, no, I'll go first this time around. For rating scale, I'm going to give this one. I'm going to give it a solid like C+, which would be like a 77 for me. You know, we kind of went over the the issues already. With Cole, having a little bit more of a backstory, and he just seemed a little bit too one-dimensional. I really liked the round 1, round 2 fights with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and the fights were always amazing. Some of the characters were great. It just felt a little bit rushed, and of course no actual tournament. But yeah, I'll give it a 77. Give it a C+. What about you?
I was going to go with a C-. So it's funny that we're both giving C, the game that doesn't like the letter C.
Honestly, yeah. It's kind of funny. Didn't even realize that.
The major issue of not having an actual tournament, and then some of the writing and some of the decisions weren't amazing, but overall definitely still had fun. I'm looking forward to sequels, hoping there will be. But yeah.
All right, so Devin, what would you say this movie was a
flawless victory?
A flawed victory.
A flawed victory. There we go. Yeah. But yeah, so that pretty much concludes our review of Mortal Kombat, the 2021 version. I know there's others out there. I need to put that in the actual title so people don't get confused, because I always forgot that there was others out there. But as far as video game movies go, this honestly isn't half bad. It's definitely on the better scale than the ones that we've seen in the past. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think Sonic is still up there for me because I loved. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Dr. Robotnik and Sonic. Just their chemistry itself was just great. And it's like Jim Carrey was just
still Detective Pikachu for me.
Detective Pikachu was really good. I think that as of right now, that is my number 2. But as rewatches come around, that can definitely change. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu was fantastic. Just the world building there. I mean, we both love Pokemon, so it's all good stuff. But yeah, so that pretty much concludes our review here today of Mortal Kombat. Thank you, Devin, always for coming on and talking shop here on the podcast. And I believe since Falcon and the Winter Soldier is finally done. Oh, sorry, my bad. I meant to go over to my applause one. But since Falcon and Winter Soldier is finally done, we can focus on the good chiz. The good chiz. That is Invincible, Episode 8. We will be reviewing later on this week. I think that kind of warrants for some news this week as well. Maybe. sort of, unless he's kind of.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, thank God it's over. Not Invincible. I don't want Invincible to end. I'm just really happy. Woo. Anyway, yeah, so we have our Invincible episode 8 review coming out. If you haven't checked out already, our new segment, Music City Verified, where I interview one of my good friends and one of Nashville's rising stars, Kayla Woodson, about her new single, Watch Me. Definitely give that a listen. That is on the podcast. Unfortunately, I did not upload it up to YouTube because it is audio only. So you just have to surf the web to find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're everywhere, just not Sirius XM. So we got that coming up in May. I think it is more of a dry month. I don't know if there's any like Warner Brother films coming out in May, but we do have Dawn of the Dead and Woman in the Window from Netflix. So we might do those possibly. And then The Bad Batch, of course. So
in May we have, there was something I just saw that's coming in May.
Oh.
Spiral, the Saw movie with Chris Rock.
Nope.
There's Cruella de Vil.
Oh, I forgot about Cruella. Yeah.
At the end of May.
Yeah, end of May. So yeah, we'll figure it out. But let's get out of here and see you guys later on. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you all for listening, and make sure to check out the other shows over on musiccitydrivein.com and subscribe to our show so you never miss an episode. That was Devin. My name is Christian, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Finish him.